Good Saturday morning, Lincoln and Logan County. A very warm Saturday morning, July the 23rd, 2011. You're in the cheap seats. We're out at Graue Incorporated today. Out here on the, what would that be then? I guess the north side of town.
North Kickapoo.
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Right, North Kickapoo. Josh Komnick, along with the furniture guy, Jake Johnston, Graue Incorporated, serving Central Illinois for over 50 years, located at 1905 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln. Visit their showroom and dealership for incredible summer savings going on now. Phone 735-4444 for more details. Jake, as always, thanks for coming on. And
Absolutely.
A lot going on in sports. You've been watching baseball. We've heard all this NFL stuff this week. There's guys leaving the NBA for overseas.
Yep.
Not a lot of action going on, but just a lot of talking.
A lot of talking. But on top of that, you got college football breaking
Coming
out
up.
here real quick. Training camp's going. NFL talking about lockout possibly ending Monday.
Nice.
So if that can happen.
Yeah, because training camp starts, Wednesday already?
They're talking Wednesday or Friday of this coming week, depending on what times they get everything scheduled. So that'll be big. Start getting some Bears talk going.
Yeah,
there.
I'm ready for some football.
Oh,
well, we started Lincoln Youth Football. You never know. The high school is going to be right around the corner.
Yep.
You talked about college football. Hey, I want to get to the trivia question real quick, Jake, because we've got a special guest coming on in the second half hour of the show. So everybody want to stay tuned for the special guest coming on at about 9:30. But here's the trivia question. Want to get that going. So if you win, you can grab these 2 tickets and head down to Knights Action Park, because today will be a beautiful day to enjoy Knights Action Park. If you win, you got 2 tickets to Knights. The question is, and this is hard for me to believe, and I've looked this up in several publishings, internet, book, that kind of thing, but it is true. When was the hottest baseball game ever played? Where was it at in the degrees?
And I'm still arguing this.
I am too. I think it's actually warmer than this, but this is I've went 3 different places on the internet to find the trivia for this week. So I need to know, when was the hottest game ever played? And when you look it up, or if you know it, you'll know where it was, and you'll probably know the degree if you knew it then. So we got a lot of heat, a lot of record-breaking heat going on here in Central Illinois, out east, everywhere. So I try to stay fitting with the weather and find out when that hottest game. That's
Absolutely.
it is hot. I mean, this is a hot game, but I figured with AstroTurf, like you were talking about, Cardinal Stadium used to be, you could read that monitor or the temperature gauge, and it was 120. I remember Whitey Herzog saying Willie Coleman's rubber spikes were melting. It was so hot out there.
Vince Coleman.
Was it Vince Coleman?
And Willie McGee.
That's why I said Willie McGee. Oh, did I say
Willie Coleman?
I got you. Hey, I got
two
guys in one. Oh, you're right. I got 2 guys in one. They both played the outfield.
No, yeah, you're right. You knocked them both out.
Right. Okay, when was the hottest game ever played, and what was the degree? Call us in, 737-3791. You've got 2 tickets to Knights Action Park.
This week, a lot of baseball going on, but it's about trade talk time, and I was wanting to ask you a couple questions on that.
Not about the Cubs, I hope.
Well, actually, there is one. Let me bring that one up real quick. Aramis Ramirez says no matter what the Cubs offer, no matter what they can get back, this is his final year of his contract unless they, kick in a clause. But he's saying no. He has a full no-trade clause, and he says, I don't care what team you're trading me to. My family's here. We're set. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I thought that would be the guy that most people in the race, the playoff race, would want. A pretty good hitting third baseman. Hasn't done real well in the last couple of years, but when he became a Cub, I loved him. I mean, he played a good infield. He could hit the ball. He drove the ball the other way, drove in runs. Now, I don't know. It just seems like he swings so hard anymore that he tries to hit it 500 feet that his average is terrible. All that kind of stuff. And I really thought he would want to go to a contender, playoff contender. Now that you're saying that, maybe he wants to be a Cub, but we've got a very good third baseman in AAA too. I believe Vitters.
Josh Vitters.
Yeah, and wants to come up, and I know the Cubs are wanting to get him up there because obviously we're just bad this year. Well, have been for a number of years, but you've got to get him up, and maybe if you're talking Yankees, if you're talking whoever. I've heard the Angels have been interested in him.
Talk, yeah.
And I'm a little surprised that he didn't want to go there.
His exact words were, "My family's here, and why would I move my kids in the middle of the year?"
Right.
And which, it actually surprised me, but it was kind of, I'll be honest, it was kind of refreshing to hear.
Right.
It didn't sound like he was saying it because of a dollar figure or because, I don't like that city or something like that. It sounded like he was saying it, strictly based on his family.
Right.
Which, if that's true, kudos to him for stepping up like that.
And it's a situation where it would be not easy to be in either. Your team is bad. You're obviously done with the playoffs. The season's a wash. Do I want to go and make myself better as a player and try and make the playoffs and go to the World Series, or do I stay home with my family, and keep them in one place? It's when you get to moving families, that's the hardest thing probably for any pro athlete.
Absolutely. And on the Cardinals side, there is actually some trade talk as well, speculation, and something I was kind of took back by. There's talk of Ubaldo Jimenez from Colorado and James Shields. Both of those guys, I guess, are somewhat available. Both of them have long-term deals, actually, beyond 2013, I believe. And the question was actually posted on STL today. Would you be interested in trading one of your stud prospects in Shelby Miller or Carlos Martinez for one of these guys? Of course, you'd have to throw in a couple other guys, but these guys are unproven.
For Jimenez.
And that's what I'm saying, or James Shield. Either way, big game James, and like I said, both these guys are locked up through 2014, I believe. Jimenez has a much more, that contract is about as friendly as you can get.
Yeah.
I think on the high end, it's $4 million. For Shields on the high end, it's around $7 million, maybe right at $8 million, which still seems real cheap. But 69% of Cardinal fans voted, and they said no.
Really?
They would not trade either one of these young studs.
Better be pretty good if you don't want Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got these. Either one of those guys, my goodness, you've locked down your rotation for a couple more years too.
Yeah.
So.
Last night's game, the Cubs were winners 4-2 over Houston. Philadelphia 3, San Diego 1, St. Louis 6, Pittsburgh 4, Atlanta 6, Cincinnati 4, and the Mets 7, and the Florida Marlins 6. And let's see. American League, Chicago White Sox 3, Cleveland 0. The Angels were a winner 6 over Baltimore 2-1. Yankees put up some runs, 17-7 over the Oakland A's. Boston 7, Seattle 4, Texas 12, Toronto 2. Detroit was a winner over Minnesota 8-2, and Kansas City 10, Tampa Bay 4. So, you talk about those trades. Obviously, it looks like Philadelphia is Philadelphia and Boston right now really running away with it. They're pretty loaded.
On that, I was actually having some talks the other day. We were talking about just different teams. Tampa Bay's only is 8.5 back, but they're 52-46.
Yeah.
They're sellers? I would say they're probably sellers at this point.
Right.
With the Yankees and Boston ahead of them. The White Sox at 48-51. They're only 5 back. But you might even say they might be sellers right now. Cincinnati only 5 back, also 48-51 sellers. And Colorado at 48-52, but they're 9 back. I would say they're looking to.
That's probably why Jimenez is coming up.
Yeah, which is I still can't see that.
No.
Such a young player that with a contract that's so friendly. But that's the talk. They're saying he's not happy there.
Right. Well, a lot of Major League going on right now. So to talk about trades, looks like the Cardinals staying up in the Central now that Milwaukee's up there in first, but right around Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, they vary. Every
one game,
every week. Every day. One slips here, one loses here. So that's going to be a tight race for all the Brewers, Cardinals, Pittsburgh fans. The Cubs, 40 and 4.
I think they're 13.5 out, 13 something like that.
40 and 60.
Wow.
It's a good season. All right, let's move to NBA real quick. A lot of guys changing. Darren Williams, former Illini, former Utah Jazz.
All-star,
Olympian, all that kind of stuff, has signed to go overseas while this supposed lockout for the NBA is going to be taking place. I'm a little
some news.
Why?
Well, they just want to keep playing. And that's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, we're going to make money over there.
Yeah.
We're going to go make money.
Must be really good money, too.
It's not bad the way it was looking.
Because you're still getting your contract from wherever.
Yeah.
New Jersey, where Darren Williams was last. And now Kobe Bryant's even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And when you can get a star like that.
I was going to say, you get a few more players like that jumping over there. I mean, there's some good players over there now. They're going to really draw a crowd. And, boy, if you get some NBA players liking the European life, as it may, you know, you don't know. The NBA may have to force their own hand and end this lockout just for the fact that, you know what, we're letting these players go over there.
We might lose them.
Well, the way I look at it is if you send good product to another area, what's to say that place isn't going to pay to keep that product there?
Sure.
You know? It's kind of like shipping stuff overseas to get things done.
Well,
unfortunately, things are stuck.
And it's really corporate over there. You know, you watch overseas uniforms, they have advertisement all over their uniforms. So you know there's money there. And you know that those businesses have money or are willing to pay more money to get those bigger players. Because obviously you get Kobe Bryant in an arena in Turkey, it's probably going to sell out.
Yep. Stoudemire talking about it. There was a list of about 8 new guys that popped up. It's like, man, these are big time names. Looking at relocating, maybe just till the lockout ends. But who's to say that, you know what, after Europe sees how much money these guys can bring in, how much revenue people are willing to spend to buy jerseys and whatnot, they might start looking and doing things a little different over there, and could affect NBA basketball here in the United States.
It very well could. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Be back here at Graue Inc. We've got some NFL possible to talk about. And then, of course, at the second half hour of the show, we've got a very special guest. So stay tuned. You're the Cheap Seats. Josh Komnick, the furniture guy, Jake Johnston, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Back out here at Graue Incorporated, serving Central Illinois for over 50 years, located at 1905 North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln. Visit their showroom and dealership for incredible summer savings going on now. Phone 735-4444 for more details, or stop out here. I think they're open till 2 or 3 today. We'll be here till 10, I know, so the furniture guy can help you out with one of those. You look good in that Corvette.
Corvette, Camaro. Heck, this Buick right in front of me. You know, those things have air-conditioned seats.
Nice.
Did you even know they made those?
I need that.
I didn't even know they had air-conditioned seats.
My 99 Chevy does not have that, but a guy that knows all about cars and racing is on the line. Marty, how's it going this morning?
Good. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. It's warm out, but you have probably been experiencing that out at the Speedway all week, getting the track ready, getting the stands ready, and it was a hot one last night. How'd it go?
Yeah, well, speaking of hot ones, some of the tempers flared last night. Some of the drivers were unhappy with one another, but, you know, that's part of the race. We had a pretty decent crowd last night. We had Northern All-Stars 3,000 win last night, and they put on a pretty good show. With the heat and everything, everybody stayed hydrated. We had a good show.
Sure, good. How many, I know you had some different cars and things coming out last night. When you get racing like that, does the heat bother the car at all?
Well, the cars do get a little hot, you know, it gets several cautions or whatever, but I tell you what, last night some of the drivers I congratulated after the wins. I mean, those guys were just soaked, you know, they wear the hard suits and stuff. I mean, them guys are just saturated, but again, everybody stayed hydrated. We had a good night. Brian Lynn from Chatham, Illinois, ended up he held off Brandon Shepard. Brandon from New Berlin in the late models. And Brandon, I think he's leading the points more than All-Star. He led most of the race, as he did over the Macon the other night. But Brian surely got around with a couple laps to go and got the win. It was a pretty exciting race.
Go through the winners as you do, Marty.
Okay, last night in the modified division, old Brian Lynn from Mason City, Illinois, he pulled it off again. He was followed close up by Guy Taylor. Guy Taylor, the 77 car, has been running really good this year. He's driving actually 2 cars. He's got a great and a modified. But Brian Lynn, man, he's got it figured out. Be it from down the road in Lincoln, Illinois. Mason City, running Lincoln every week. He just does a great job. Great job. He's really come along.
Good.
Street stock division, another local guy, Terry Miller, he pulls it off again. And Rick Skelton right there in second. I mean, those guys, it's a pretty neat deal. See the Lincoln guys, they're really coming on strong. They got it figured out.
Sure. Sounds like. What about? Did the heat to bother the stands? I know it's awfully hot, and people want to stay inside, I guess, as much as they can. But looked like a good crowd out last night.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit better crowd. We had a pretty decent crowd, though. It's funny because I convinced people want to get there early, get a seat. They mark their seat with a blanket or whatever. Then they go sit in their car and they're ready to do it. These cars are fogged up. It's kind of neat, but yeah, it was hot. I think that hurt the crowd.
Sure.
There's some other tracks around that kind of gave up on it, but we kind of hung in there. And I tell you, Norm does a great job with the track prep and everything, and it was a pretty good night.
Marty, before we let you go, give us an update. What's going on here in the future out at the Speedway?
Well, as I was telling Jim yesterday, we got the fair coming up, so we're probably going to take a week or so off. But coming up, we got another sprint car show coming up the next month. That went over real good. A lot of local drivers in the sprint cars, so we got that coming up. And I want everybody to come out and support the Logan County Fair. It's one of the best fairs around for miles. We used to show cattle as a family for about 15, 16 years.
Sure.
And we traveled a lot of county fairs. And I'll tell you what, we got to be proud of right here in Logan County because we got one of the best fairs, if not the best state fair. County fair in Illinois. So.
Sounds good, Marty. Well, thanks for calling in as always, and a deserved, a little break for you guys out at the Speedway while the fair is going on. But like you said, go out and support the fair, and we'll be back talking to you. Maybe not this Saturday, but the next.
Okay, guys. Thanks, and appreciate all your support.
Talk to you later, Marty. Marty Spears from out at the racetrack. Another hot one last night. Warm.
I could hear them, man.
Yeah,
they were running. They were
running. Back on talk of sports, NFL. Have you been following this thing at all? I'm over it, I guess. I'm ready for it to start. I have paid a little bit of attention this week because of them coming down to the end on this contracts, proposals, and whatnot. Sounds like the owners gave up a lot of control. Yeah.
So, but the players have yet to sign it. They thought they were going to get signed yesterday. It looks like it's going to get pushed back, like I said, until Monday. So, hopefully next week we'll be seeing some guys running around in pads and stuff, trying to shed some pounds.
Yeah, we got some local, one local football action, I guess. If you're a Rayler fan and not a Rochester fan, you don't ever want to see this. But Wes Lunt, the talented quarterback from Rochester, broke a bone in his right foot. I think it was on Wednesday. They don't know a lot of but Lincoln does play Rochester the first game of the season this year. I'm pretty sure. So, I don't want to see him on the shelf. I'd like to see him out there as a guy going to Oklahoma. Not you.
Okay.
As a guy going to Oklahoma State, as a football fan, you don't get to see that a lot.
As a fan, you want to see.
You don't get to see that a lot. You got a D1, a high major D1 guy. I'm not going to drive to Rochester and watch him. So.
I would really like to see Lincoln beat.
Well, I would too, even with him on the court.
With him on the field. That would be the best case scenario.
Right. But it sounds like he's going to be out about a month, so it looks like he'll probably be recovered by the time we travel. I guess we'll travel to Rochester this year since they came here. And then Lincoln's Brendan Elsauce, took first place in the 50-meter freestyle up in the Chicago suburb. It was a big senior meet up there, and congratulations to Brendan. He also placed in 3 other, along with a relay and some other of his teammates and things. So congratulations to him. We got a phone call. Caller on the line, I think, wants to talk some race. You there, Andy?
Hey, I'm here, man.
All right. Hey, here's our race guru of Logan County. And, Andy, how were they? I know you were out there last night and wanted to call in and kind of give a fan's perspective of the racetrack.
Sure. First of all, I want to say how much I appreciate Marty and Norm for the job they do at the racetrack.
Sure.
I definitely try really hard to get out there. And after I closed the restaurant, like last night, I didn't get out there till 9 o'clock, so it was really late. But the crowd was still pretty strong, which I was pretty happy with. Definitely could have seen a lot more butts in the seats,
Sure.
But it was really hot outside.
Little warm.
And race car drivers did a great job last night. But Norm and Marty do a great job setting up the track every week, getting the cars here, We had a lot of drivers from a lot of places last night with the Northern All-Stars in town, and pretty happy to see that,
Yeah, definitely. And when you can get guys to come out and sweat like I'm sure they were here in Logan County and going for a good track, a good race, and it's the fans, appreciate it like yourself.
Definitely, most definitely, yep. And I just want to real quick say, guys, because I'm in a hurry, of course. I'm prepping for the restaurant for the day. But
there you go.
I just want to congratulate Terry Miller. It's his third week in a row he's won in the street stocks, and he's really turned it on this part of the season. He had a rough start in the beginning of the year, but great job for him. Unfortunate Rick Skelton, second place from Lincoln.
Yeah.
Great driver, had an opportunity last night, but one unfortunate thing is they had to cut the race short. The city only allows them to race until 11 o'clock.
Gotcha.
So, as a race fan, it rubs you really wrong. We have a select few people here in town with enough clout to say, hey, they got to stop by 11 o'clock on a Friday night.
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
People party till 2 in the morning, And I have a problem with that, Rick could have got his first feature win ever.
Yeah.
And just when you shorten laps, and it sort of screws with the driver. And
sure.
And nothing against Terry, because he definitely had a strong car last night.
Right.
But they ended up having to cancel a race also. The Hornets didn't even get to run their feature because they had to shorten the race. And I'll tell you, about quarter to 11, you see old Norm in the infield staring at his watch, running around so nervous because he's scared of getting fined. And I'll tell you what, it's not fair, guys.
Right.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And probably another half an hour, the races would have been over with. And
Sure.
Now in 2 weeks, when they run again, they got to run a double feature for the Hornets, and that pushes the whole show behind. Also, that's what people don't understand is the races that don't get to run.
Right.
They make that up the next race. So then that pushes that next week behind.
Sure.
So it's a constant battle,
Right.
And I feel sorry for those guys, man, because they definitely don't want to find. They're working hard trying to make it the way it is, and
Hey, Andy.
and to throw a fine in there is just not fair.
Andy,
So,
I know you're in a hurry today. What kind of specials you got down there at Curry's Wieners?
specials right now. We got corn dog and lemon shake up, $5, man.
Whoa.
Nice.
We're gonna run that till after the fair.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So yeah,
a
very,
corn dog
very
and
good
lemon
deal.
shake up for $5 at Curry's Wieners
You got it.
That's it.
all day long. What's your hours, Curry?
My hours 11 to 8 Monday through Saturday, man.
Nice.
All right, Andy, thanks for calling in, and we'll talk to you, again probably Saturday. If you get bored, bring a couple of those lemonade shake-ups out to Graue Incorporated. We'll be out here until 10.
Sure. Maybe I can do that, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, bud.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, see ya. Andy Curry's Wieners calling in,
Nice.
voicing the little fan perspective from out at the racetrack, which we
It's
haven't
nice
had.
to get.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Got a very special guest coming in. She is in attendance right now, so we're going to take a commercial break, get her settled in. We'll be back out here at Graue Incorporated, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.